It's October, sort of. I mean, it's not October when we're recording this, but by the time this episode comes out, it will be October. Ooh.
Wow, I wonder if
Spooky.
this bit has ever been done
It
before.
probably has, but not to this extent because I was very specific about when this was being recorded. We were recording this on September 30th, a day before October. So you know what? We're breaking new ground still. Oh, so yeah, there you go. That's pretty spooky.
That is pretty spooky.
That's very spooky. But hey, it's October, and this is Talking Toku, the only podcast where we talk about sci-fi monsters and dinosaur adventures. And I'm your host, David.
I'm Brian.
And boy, do we have not just an episode for you today, but episodes, plural, because as you guys are aware, in the past we've done a Halloween special, but well, for one thing, our Halloween specials the last 3 years have been the Yokai Monsters trilogy. The problem with it being a trilogy is that we've done it the past 3 years, and so now we've run out of films. There's still the great.
I can't believe we're on our 4th October.
I know. There's still the Great Yokai War films, but those are very much more fantasy than horror. So, But anyways, we had a couple of ideas on what to do for Halloween, and you know what? We had too many. We had too many good ideas. So we said, nah, we're not doing a Halloween episode. We're going to do a Halloween month. All month long. All October is going to be spooky stuff we're covering on this show. And there's some good stuff in there, man. We'll talk more about it at the end of this episode. Because I think our actual episode that we're going to do for Halloween is going to be really, really funny. But we'll get more into that later. But Brian, what are we covering today? And more importantly, why are we covering it today?
I don't remember why.
Okay. Never mind.
But you know what? Werewolves are cool.
Werewolves
we wanted
are
to talk
cool.
about them and give them a little time in the spotlight because they're just not that big anymore. But I think they should be brought back. I think we need more werewolf movies. So we're going to talk about a few good werewolf movies.
Well, you almost got into the reason as to why.
Well, there's the new one that's coming out.
That was the reason we're talking about werewolves.
That is oh yeah.
Because the trailer came out and we were like, huh, that looks interesting, but also I forgot how cool werewolves are. Well, there's that too, yeah.
The design got shown at Halloween Horror Nights, and it did not look. I think we talked about this on the last episode.
We did talk about it with Adam briefly.
Yeah, I think you actually got a live reaction from me.
I think you did. We did, because you hadn't seen it yet. So.
Yeah, it looked very disappointing, to put it lightly.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll find out when the movie comes out in January, I think.
I'm stoked.
Sometime in
I'm still gonna see it.
Oh, goddamn right, we're gonna see it. But anyways,
hey, you know what? Next year, classic monsters. We got Nosferatu and the Wolfman,
and Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Oh my God, you're right.
That as of today, that just wrapped filming.
Oh my God, Dave. I think they're gonna try and get the DUCU to come back.
They might, Brian. You might finally get your wish.
I think. Are they gonna do it? I hope. Oh my God, dude. I really want the DUCU to come back. I miss it. I miss it so much.
This is Brian's white whale, by the way. If I don't think we've ever mentioned it on the show, but this is your white whale.
Yeah.
Is the
I'm pretty
Dark
sure
Universe cinematic universe.
All of you listeners don't know about the Dark Universe cinematic universe, and my undying search for any bit of news about it coming back.
I mean, it is back technically at Dude, it's gonna.
It's not back. It's at a fucking amusement park or whatever.
Yeah, it's at Universal Studios Orlando, I think. I mean, it's not open yet. I think it's opening next year.
That's in Florida, Dave. Are you kidding me?
That's true. Florida's
Absolutely not.
Close. That's that. Good.
Florida
point.
is dead to me.
That.
No,
I had not considered that. Good point.
Florida should honestly be just a let go. They should just go out into the sea, become an island.
It's that Bugs Bunny gif where he's sawing through the United States and it just cuts Florida off.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly that. We want that.
Exactly. All right.
Bugs Bunny knew something that we didn't.
Yeah, I don't even know when that short came out, but he was ahead of his time for sure.
Probably a while ago. It was probably old, but I don't know. So yeah, we're talking about werewolves.
We're talking about werewolves, and we got a lot to talk about, to say the least.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but we've got some news, and not really, because it's been a weirdly slow couple of weeks. So Brian, why don't you tell us what's going on in the news?
Giant condor for president.
Yes. All right, we're moving on. No,
cool.
That's not. I put that because it would make sense. The Bandai Movie Monster Series ballot is back, and you can vote on what the next Godzilla Store exclusive Movie Monster Series figure will be. The candidates are King Caesar, Desghidorah, Orga, a flying form Space Godzilla, Eternal Mothra, Showa Mogera, a Dorat, which I missed that one, I don't know how, 1956 Rodan, and Headless Mechagodzilla 75. But the most important one, of course, is the Giant Condor from the hit 1966 film Ever a Heart of the Deep. And
the GOAT.
Talking Toku, as a brand, we are coming out in support of our candidate, the Giant Condor. Kaiju United is also on board. They have come out in support of the Giant Condor for this ballot. So go vote. This is the election that really matters.
We fully endorse Giant Condor.
Yes.
I cannot wait for all the pants shitting to happen that from people that don't know about the meme.
I asked our group chat for KU what his campaign slogan would be, and I got simply "He big," and I dig it. I can get behind that.
Yeah, he big.
That's good enough for me.
Somebody should make like an actual like really high quality. Like,
Jacob and I
poster.
legitimately talked about doing that. Like, it would be so funny. It would be so funny if we did that.
It would be, and honestly, I think if you could get it viral, I think it would win. I think it would actually win it for Giant Condor.
The thing is, Brian.
Has it already ended?
No, it hasn't ended, but I voted twice. I used 2 different emails, so we're officially complicit in voter
cheating.
fraud. We're complicit in voter fraud. They gotta do a recount. Giant Condor stole 2024.
Wow, it really makes you think, huh?
I know. But yeah, that's kind of the only news that's happened. I don't. I looked.
You forgot something.
What did I forget, Brian?
Hellboy movie going straight to VOD.
Yeah. Oh,
not a good sign.
That's rough, dude.
Ooh,
yeah. I mean, I was not very hopeful for that movie in the first place, but I think
it's cursed.
It's released in some other countries, I think, and from what I've seen, it ain't looking too good. I have not heard a single good thing about the film.
I was just really hoping that trailer was like just a bad trailer, but it did. Yeah. This makes me think it's not just that.
We talked about this last night. They should just stop. I think they should just do animated films, because that's gonna be the only way we can get good Hellboy movies now, I guess. Because
and then you can get Ron Perlman back, because he does animated shit all the time.
Exactly. Exactly.
You don't have to commit hundreds of millions of dollars to
I
a
mean,
live action thingy.
I mean,
You can
Bruce
just do
Campbell
a
doesn't
small thing.
play Ash anymore in live action, but he's still super down to voice him in pretty much anything because I think he said
Yeah.
he directly said like my body's aged, but my voice hasn't, or something along those
Yeah, I mean,
lines.
he did the game. I think
He did the
voiced
game. They're doing an animated Evil Dead series, and he's voicing Ash in that. So
Have we? Is there a release date for that, or is it just kind
I
of?
think it like just got announced, so I think there's very few details. I've heard rumors that it's going to be a follow-up to Ash versus Evil Dead, but I can't even find a source on that. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I'm very curious to see where they'll go after that.
I know, right? I would love to get if it is a continuation, I'd love that because boy did that last season end on a a wild note. So
Yeah, it did. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that ending, and if it's the last piece of Bruce Campbell Evil Dead we get, completely fine with it.
mhm.
But if they could do some wacky shit. in
Actually,
the post-apocalyptic
Brian.
future.
Actually, Brian, it's not the last piece of Bruce Campbell Evil Dead we get because he cameoed in Evil Dead Rise.
Well, wasn't he like a different character though?
Yeah, I think he was like one of the guys on the record.
So you can shove that actually right up your ass.
I know. I was making a joke, Brian. I was being funny, haha.
I'm just thinking about that meme where it's like we joke around here and then it's like a grenade pinned to a door, so when it opens it explodes.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Hellboy. You'll continue to not make money. Woo.
Should we? I think we should watch it.
I mean, why not? What? At the very least, it'll be a waste of 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, is it even 2 hours? That's the question. Do we have runtime on Hellboy the Crooked Man? Hold on, I'm looking this up.
I don't know. I feel like it either might be too short or too long. But
Is there a runtime? Ooh, it's a brisk. It's just barely over an hour and a half. 99 minutes. That's pretty solid, actually. I'll take that.
Whoa.
We can be over and done with that pretty quickly.
You know what, Dave? If we can go back and watch Pacific Rim Uprising, I think we can get through this.
You know, that's a good point. But here's the thing.
Remember, Dave, we paid to watch that.
We did
again.
pay to watch that. But also,
think about it this way. Every time we have watched Pacific Rim Uprising, we have paid for it.
this is true. Well, because I'm not buying that on Blu-ray. I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, I pride myself on buying as many kaiju films as I can, but even I have standards, man. I got standards.
Yeah. Absolutely not. That movie sucks.
But also, like, at least with Uprising, we knew what to expect on that rewatch. This will be fresh. We don't know exactly how bad this is going to be.
Oh man, I'm really wondering if it's gonna be where it's gonna fall in on the shittiness scale in relation to the last Hellboy.
I know. Well,
I'm curious.
It's got a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that Rotten Tomatoes matters, but it's got a 25%. Let's see what Hellboy 2019 had. 17%. Okay. So according to Rotten Tomatoes, it's somewhat better than Hellboy 2019.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's a low bar. That's a very low bar.
It's choosing between cat shit and dog shit.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think we should watch it at some point though. I don't know when, but at some point we should totally watch it.
the day it comes out.
No.
Just get it out of the way. Just get it out of the way.
October 8th. That's in like a week, Brian.
Oh my god, it's that soon?
Yeah.
Can I go back on what I said?
No, it's too late now. You've set it in stone. All right. Well,
Damn.
let's talk about something cool instead. Let's talk about werewolves.
Yeah. So, for this topic, we kind of just watched a bunch of werewolf movies. Dave, you watched a lot more than I did because I am busy.
You are a busy boy.
I still watched a few, and I do have knowledge of a bunch. So
yeah.
But I do want to get out here and say that yesterday, in our dear Discord
hold on. I want to before we even get into this, I want to drop a potentially hot take.
Oh, go for it.
I think werewolves are the best classic monster. Like, if we're talking, like, with zombies and vampires and all that kind of stuff, werewolves are the best one. They're the coolest, the most interesting to me.
I agree, honestly. I like the all the different takes on their I don't know, like curse or like all the different rules that a lot of movies use.
Mythology,
like, there's always,
I guess.
all the different kinds of mythology, and like, you know, not every movie uses the same weaknesses, but they all have some common through line, which is fun. But yeah, I agree. I think werewolves are pretty awesome. Like, I think they're the best classic monster too. If zombies weren't so fucking boring at this point, I'd probably say they would maybe rival it, but nah.
Yeah, that late 2000s, late 2000s, early 2010s kind of zombie boom in the wake of The Walking Dead really stretched that particular subgenre thin in terms of what you could do.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of curious how long it's gonna take for like to recover from that, like to get over like the zombie fatigue.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's still very prevalent.
Well,
like, if a zombie movie's coming out, like, unless it's South Korea, like, it's not big.
Well, I think the thing is, like, I think most people have kind of understood that there is a bit of fatigue going on, because, like, what's the last big budget zombie movie that you can think of that came out? I guess Army of the Dead from Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah, that would be one. Overlord was like a Nazi zombies movie.
That was kind of, but they at least did something interesting with it. Like, it wasn't just like your typical. So I don't know.
Yeah, they were definitely zombies. It was just like different.
Yeah,
it was like some weird fucking chemical. I like that movie. I wish
I like that
movie
too. I like Army of the Dead too. I thought that was a lot of fun.
I never actually watched all of Army of the Dead, so I should probably do that. I watched like half of it, and then I had to like go do something, so I turned it off. I never finished it. Anyways, yeah, fucking werewolves.
Yeah.
What movies did you watch, Dave?
I watched the original Wolfman, of course. We wouldn't be talking about werewolves if it wasn't for that movie, I don't think. I watched, like I said, I watched An American Werewolf in London. Incredible. Peak, as the kids would say. I watched Cursed from Wes Craven, 2005, and oh my god, that was a movie. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting one? I mean,
Did you finally watch Twilight?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh no, Dave.
I guess I didn't forget one. But most importantly, as Brian was about to say before I cut him off earlier, I watched the incredible film from Neil Marshall, director of Hellboy 2019, Dog Soldiers. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh my goodness. What a movie. What a film.
I have a feeling we're gonna spend most of our time talking about dog soldiers.
I think you might be right, Brian. Because I mean that's the one that's
we will
most
say
fresh in our minds.
we are gonna save that for the last.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
because it was also the experience of watching it with you and our friend Naomi.
Yeah.
So that was very fun. I am glad I didn't watch it alone.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
I mean, I think it
Honestly,
still would have been funny if we watched it alone, but definitely with people it was a more rewarding experience.
Sitting there watching it and just everyone hollering at the screen while shit is happening. You know what? No, we're gonna talk about this later. This is later topic. We're not.
Okay.
So I'm gonna preface this. I already said it. I didn't get to watch a lot of movies because I have started school and I'm very busy. So unfortunately, Dave's gonna do a lot of talking, and I'm just gonna go and do a lot of ooh, cool, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what.
Well, here's the most important question for you, Brian. Did you end up getting to watch The Cursed?
I did not end up getting to watch it. I really wanted to watch it last night, but I had a lot of schoolwork to do, so I didn't get to do it. And then today I really wanted to watch An American Werewolf in London. So that's what I did. Well, I'm going to watch it.
All right.
Eventually.
You can talk about it next time on our What New Cool Kaiju thing. But because we both
I think I'm gonna watch it. I think I'm gonna watch it this week because I still want to.
Yeah, it is.
Next time,
I really do like The Cursed. So it's especially for like classic monsters, and this is also kind of in the wake of the new Nosferatu trailer that just dropped today. I don't know if you saw that, Brian, but it looks incredible.
No, not from the one today.
Damn, you're missing out. Looks real good. Between that and between the 2010 Wolfman remake from Joe Johnston, which I will stand by is a phenomenal movie. I have never disliked that movie.
The movie fucks.
I went to go see it. Well, you and I went to go see it, among other friends, for my birthday back in 2010. We saw that in theaters with a couple friends of ours, and we had a blast. I can't even tell you how many times in the wake of seeing that movie we would just like pretend to rip our shirts off like Anthony Hopkins does at the end. It's just because it's just so funny. I love that movie.
Like a prevailing meme.
It is, but no,
it is literally what I think about whenever I hear someone mention the Wolfman 2010.
Yeah,
I just think about that fucking scene.
You know, I adore that movie. I don't know why. I mean, I think it's certainly reached cult status at this point in time, but like even back then, I don't know why it was so critically lambasted, because I always thought it was like really good. It's a lot of fun. I love the setting, and that's where I want to get into that, like gothic kind of period horror. I think works really well for classic monsters, especially like the Wolfman, like with Nosferatu. And I think Del Toro's Frankenstein is also a period film. But that's the one thing I really love about the 2010 Wolfman, and also I love about The Cursed, because it takes place. I can't remember when it takes place. That I watched it. I watched that 2 years ago or 1 year ago. I can't remember. Probably 2 years ago. It takes place in the late 1800s. And something about that, like that setting, just works so well. It's so cool. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but just period horror. Period horror is cool. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I mean, I love that gothic architecture in the Wolfman and Wolfman 2010. The production for that movie was so cool. The The Wolfman like prosthetics and suits look amazing.
I think
Uh,
I think that particular werewolf design is like what I think about when I think
yeah,
werewolves. Um,
it is so faithful to like that original Wolfman design, but like also it is just very modern at the same time,
mhm.
and it just like I don't think I've seen a classic monster that has kind of met that balance in a movie recently.
Yeah.
Uh, like that's hard to do.
Well,
That's real hard to do.
here's a question I wanted to kind of bring up, in terms of like character design. Do you prefer the more Wolfman esque look, or are you more into like the full lycanthrope where it looks more like a wolf walking on two legs, like in something like The Howling or Dog Soldiers?
I think I am more into the kind of like crossbreed, like monstrosity, like like the 50-50.
Mm.
Uh,
So like in
like
The Wolfman?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I also I'm gonna be honest, after watching Dog Soldiers, the werewolf design in that movie was so impressive, and I thought they looked so imposing that I honestly think they might be one of my favorite designs.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because they are very wolf-like. Like they resemble men less,
Hmm.
but they are still very humanoid, and they're so tall that it's like very uncanny.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
that really took me by surprise, just
th-
how like
those
weird they looked.
Yeah, yeah, those ones I think met the monster description like so much better than a lot of Wolfman designs. Like they were just so monstrous, and
Mhm.
I loved that. I thought that was sick. But we'll talk more about that later.
That's another
Um,
thing that the Cursed does really well. It doesn't really fall into either of those categories. And, and you can kind of view this as something bad about the film or something good depending on how you react to it when you see it, Brian. But it doesn't, for a werewolf film, it doesn't really look like a werewolf. You wouldn't like
hmm.
if you didn't know like the lore behind werewolves and everything, and if you didn't know that, hey, this is a werewolf movie, you probably wouldn't be able to identify the creature in the film as a werewolf. Um, but I'm open to interpretation on these kinds of monsters. Let me see if I can find a picture. I'm not going to send it to you. I just want to see it for myself. Yeah, that's like barely a werewolf. But also it's you could say the same thing about the werewolves in The Quarry. Like those are not
Oh
really
yeah,
all there in terms of werewolf designs.
yeah. I think honestly, when it comes to the quarry specifically, I think they it is more about the mythology that makes them werewolves than the
Hmm.
actual what they turn into,
Yeah.
because they act like wolves, like there's a pack, and like there's like an alpha, um but like they don't really look like a typical werewolf. They just kind of look like a lanky monster on all fours.
Hmm.
Well, I guess they do howl. Yeah, they do
All
howl.
right.
I don't know. They're not like they're not what you'd think of when you're talking about werewolves. So
Yeah.
I thought the Quarry's take was very interesting. I thought they kept some cool stuff, and like it's just by the process, that makes it's the process that makes them werewolves.
Yeah.
You get bit or you get scratched, and
Hmm.
then now you're one of them. So that's cool. I do love how they just explode into it though. Like that is so
That's so ridiculous. It's
it
so
is so
ridiculous.
ridiculous. I love it. It's yeah, it's good. It's a good time. Anyone who hasn't played that game should play it. I know Dark Pictures games have not been like the best, but between Until Dawn, like the quarry is pretty close, I'd
Yeah,
say.
I think it's. I mean, having not only played the first two Dark Pictures games, I think that's their second best after Until Dawn.
Yeah.
I just think with the Quarry especially, it's the ending is just not as satisfying. Like even if you get all the good stuff, it doesn't. It just kind of ends. Like there's no real resolution to it.
Yeah.
And maybe there's
Yeah.
a different ending that's like a little more satisfying, but I don't know.
We did kind of get the shit
I
ending.
don't know. We kept everyone alive except like one person.
Yeah, but we weren't supposed to kill the dude at the end
I don't
because
know,
he's
man.
like, I don't know. I'm kind of unclear on what we were supposed to do,
Yeah.
but whatever. uh,
Well, hey,
we'll leave that to the gamers to figure out
yeah.
what the
I mean, we're
best
gamers.
path through it. I guess so. Yeah.
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 On the topic of weird werewolf designs, you know what I think is one that's like kind of really underrated?
What?
I really like the werewolf design in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah,
I
dude. We were talking about this the other day.
Yes,
I love that shit.
it
Oh, it's
is.
so
It's
good.
weird. He's weird. He's mostly hairless, and it's really
Yeah.
creepy looking. I when that came out in was that 2004? I want to say 2004, 2005, I think. Um, that werewolf scared the bejesus out of me, dude. That I was
Yeah.
so unsettled by that werewolf design.
Honestly, it is actually really similar to the Dog Soldiers werewolves. It's really big, it's lanky.
Mm-hmm.
It has a pretty wolfish head, but it's pretty hairless from what I
Yeah,
remember.
and
It's
that
almost kind of like a shaved dog
and
almost.
he kind of flip flops between walking on all fours and standing upright. It's a really great balance between like the wolf and man posture at
Yeah.
least.
I mean, part of what makes that werewolf design so fucking terrifying was just they were running around in the pitch black fucking
Mhm.
woods, and it was just like this thing is like basically pitch black, and yeah, did I can't remember, did it have eye shine at all?
I think so. I haven't seen the
I
movie in a while, but I'm pretty sure they gave it eye shine.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, but I can just picture it with eye shine and how like creepy it would look.
Hmm. I almost want to go
Ugh.
back and just watch that entire scene, just the entire scene with him with Lupin, and then just I mean I'd watch the movie again. It's the best Harry Potter movie.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? I hate J.K. Rowling as much as the next person, but
Yeah, but
that
the
that movie
it's a
fucked.
good. I mean, they got Alfonso Cuarón to direct, so like there's
Yeah,
of course it's a good movie, you know.
yeah. And hey, you know, the people who worked on that movie, they've all like openly come out against the
Yeah,
horrible shit that J.K. Rowling has said. So, you know, why associate them with her? Whatever. Anyways, yeah, great werewolf design.
all right. Well, Brian, I told you when we
Huh?
were planning for this episode, this was your chance. This was your chance to finally talk about Twilight on the show.
Oh my
I'm
God,
giving you the
yeah.
floor. I'm giving you the floor.
Well, hey, you know what? We could be talking about Twilight right now,
I know.
but
Well, hey,
no, you
listen,
suck.
Brian, listen to me. Remember how I said I was going to watch Twilight, right?
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, I saw The Substance. Can you blame me?
Oh my
Can you
God.
blame
Oh
me?
my. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. I know we will, but with that little tidbit, can you blame me?
No, no, I
Exactly.
can't.
Exactly.
Uh,
Talk about Twilight for me.
man, Twilight. Not much to say, honestly.
They're just big
Uh,
wolves. They're just
they're
big
just big
wolves.
wolves. and like they're just goofy as fuck, dude. Like I don't know. It's just a bunch of buff dudes who just walk around and then they like imprint on like a woman or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they have to stay together forever.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird.
It's real weird. They're all a bunch of like just I don't even know. It's just really goofy. You need to watch Twilight, dude.
Again,
you need to watch all of them.
I've seen the original like once, long time ago, like probably back in middle or high school, I think. And I didn't hate it even. I was like, this is kind of fun. Like, I don't hate this. I'm enjoying my time with this.
Honestly, I am glad I watched the Twilight series for the first time with adult eyes because I can like not try and like be like tough and or whatever and be like this sucks. I can just sit down and enjoy it for what it is.
You can say this sucks, but also like in a fun way, in a loving way.
Nah, dude, Twilight is genuinely like the funniest series of movies I've ever seen.
Well,
every time I watch them, and it is somewhat often. We're probably gonna go through them again or watch one of them this year for Halloween.
Well, you gotta come back to Boston because the Coolidge are running a marathon for him, Brian.
Nah, dude, I really wish that would be so cool. I'm honestly so disappointed I didn't come like around then, but I had to have school, so
yeah, nah, it's fine. Work. It would have been great if the timing had worked out.
You really should go to that.
I am like considering it. Like I got a reminder for it on Facebook. Like, oh shit, I forgot about that.
I actually think that seeing it like that would be a fantastic first experience.
How many movies are there? 5?
To watch it.
4 or 5?
I think there's 5.
Okay.
I think. Pretty sure there's 5.
I'm not the resident Twilight fan of Talking Toku, so I'm leaving this to you.
It is. I'm gonna say it's 5. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But that's my guess.
Well.
But anyways, yeah. The werewolves. They're big wolves.
It's 4, Brian. Oh wait, no. It is 5.
4?
It is 5 because Breaking Dawn is in 2 parts. My bad.
Yeah, I see. I'm smart. I know this. I bought those movies on Blu-ray.
Not 4K.
So I know. No, they didn't have one. I don't think. I can find one.
All right, that's fine then.
Trust me, I was bummed out they didn't have 4K.
All right,
I want to see.
I'll let it slide this time, Brian.
I want to see the big wolves in 4K.
4K.
Anyway, but I will just add they look terrible. Like
yeah,
the actual
actual
CG.
Effects, yeah. Like even for 2008, they do. It doesn't look all that great.
Yeah,
which is
there are a few places. There are a few places where you can pause when they're like mid transformation, and it's like a really weird like nightmare amalgamation.
Oh,
like
I'm sure. Yeah, because they just kind of like it's just like kind of an immediate switch, right?
Yeah, they kind of just like their bodies just like expand and then they just turn into wolves.
And they don't even have to do it in the full moon. Come on, Twilight. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Actually, you know what? I want to pose the question. I talked about it a little bit already.
Okay.
But when it comes to werewolves, do you like in terms of defining a werewolf, do you care more about how similar the mythology and the rules are to other werewolves, or is it purely about the design of just wolf?
What do you mean?
Or like Wolfman, like all the characteristics that make up like and how they function. Like you get bit, or like you're part of a pack or something, and then you turn into a wolf, usually during the full moon. Or is it purely about just what they look like in their design, like they're like half man wolf or man that turns into wolf?
It's kind of a little of both.
I would say that like the Twilight werewolves, like they are men that turn into wolves. They're really not like I wouldn't consider them to be like conventional lycanthropes
Yeah.
or like werewolves. They just don't have they barely have any of that connecting through line of most werewolves. Like they
Hmm.
don't have it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
at that point, I mean, it doesn't really count with Twilight in that sense because they're not really monsters, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
if you take that concept, just a dude turning into a wolf, and put it into like an actual horror or actual monster movie, it doesn't that at that point it doesn't really feel like a werewolf because a werewolf as a creature, as a mythological creature, it comes with all of that mythology behind it. You know, the full moon, the curse, the silver weakness. Like if you take all of that away, you're kind of just left with a just kind of a generic monster, you know. So I think
Mhm.
there's a fine line in terms of doing that because you can play with the mythology a little bit, like Cursed, the film, not The Cursed, Cursed, the Wes Craven one, that kind of plays around with it. Like silver is a weakness, but it's not like necessarily the be all end all. Like one of the spoiler alert for a movie that's 20 years old, the one of the werewolves they kill, they just shoot it in the head with a regular gun. Like
Wow.
they just like pump it full of lead, and it's like, yeah, that's all you need, man.
I mean, that's how they kill the werewolf in an American Werewolf in
Yes.
London.
Oh,
So
I think I was getting a little confused. I mean, it's with that in the curse too, but I think they call more attention to it in American Werewolf in London. Um,
yeah. Mhm.
we should. Do you want to talk about that werewolf? Because that's
Hell
that's a
yeah.
that's a great werewolf.
That is, you know what? This is very embarrassing, but I do not watch that. Have not actually like completely watched this movie.
Hmm.
I've technically seen it,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say I was really paying attention, and it was quite a while ago. I don't even remember. I just know it was in New York with my family.
Okay.
Uh, but this was the first time I like fully got to watch it and like know exactly what's happening. And this werewolf is fucking wild.
So before we go
he,
too far into it, I want to ask you something, Ryan,
yeah.
because
What's up?
I rewatched this movie for the first time a couple of years ago. I'd watched it when I was in like middle school, and I really, really enjoyed it. And then I didn't watch it for like probably 10 years or so. Um,
Mhm.
when I rewatched it a couple of years ago, I think my little child brain at the time was just not developed enough to like take in the film as it was meant to be because I didn't realize like that movie's a comedy.
Oh yeah, it's
Like
funny.
I didn't that somehow went completely over my head as a kid. I just thought it was like
Yeah,
it's just a really good werewolf movie. Like no, it's a black comedy. It's like
yeah,
really really funny. I think it's because it's British and it's all dry humor. That's probably why it went over my head. But damn, it's a funny movie, dude. I love that. Did you get that sense at all when?
I mean, I was laughing at the movie. Me and our number one fan of the show, Sam, were
Mhm.
watching this only a few hours ago, and like the whole movie was just so fucking crazy and so ridiculous, and everybody was just insane that like we just couldn't help but like laugh and make
Yeah.
jokes the whole time. It was such an entertaining watch.
I,
But like on top of it just being fucking hilarious, like it was a very effective werewolf movie. Like it was so good. It's kind of in the same vein as like Shaun of the Dead, where it's like just kind of a good ass movie,
mhm.
but also really funny. So
I
yeah,
mean, we'd be
fucking
we'd be
great.
remiss if we weren't to mention the transformation scene in this film.
Oh my God. I didn't realize how sudden it was. They went from like musical, like whatever scene, like to fucking transformation immediately.
Yeah.
And like I thought it would like do like a build up, but no, he just
Nope.
started
Nope.
convulsing on the ground. And yeah, it was sudden and it looks those effects are so good. It looks so
Well, do
painful.
you want to know a fun fact about this movie specifically and its effects?
Please share your fun fact.
This movie is the reason that we have a Best Makeup and Effects award at the Oscars.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, this was the first movie to ever
God
win
damn.
that award.
God
And
damn.
you
I
can
mean,
tell.
it
You can tell.
deserves it. It is so good. I mean, even the effect for the what's the friend that died and the fucking ghost of him is like
Oh,
following around the main
yes.
guy.
Yeah, he looks great. I
Is
can't
that
remember his name.
I just watched this and I can't remember his name. I'm
I keep thinking,
God damn
I
it.
always think his name's David, but David is the main character.
Yeah, it's David. That's right. Because Sam made a joke about that.
No, it's not David. David is the main character. The guy who died, I can't remember his name.
No, I'm saying she made a
Oh,
joke about the main character because his name was David.
gotcha. Oh, is it
She made fun
Jack?
of
I think it's Jack.
Jack. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. But yeah, he like he comes back as a ghost and he's like all like disgusting and like his face is destroyed. And then the next time we see him,
He's just,
he's like
yeah, he like continues
he's like a
decaying.
skeleton almost. Yeah, he just keeps getting more and more disgusting. That shit was amazing. And
Yeah,
then
that I
like
really like that addition to like the lore that you like when you're
yeah,
human, you see like the all the victims you've killed. Like that's a really
definitely.
interesting addition. I like that a lot.
I I really like that. That really emphasizes like this being a curse. Like
Hmm.
it is a bad thing. Like that is I really appreciated that. I meant to ask, like, has that ever been used in anything else?
Not to my
Like, or is it
knowledge.
original to that? Is it
It
original
might
to American
be
Werewolf?
exclusive to this film. I don't know for sure. Um, but to like off the top of my head, I don't think we've ever really seen that in any other
Yeah.
maybe at least not in like the bigger ones. Like maybe it's been adapted for some of the more independent ones that we don't know of, but I don't know.
Mm. Um, you know what I do like about one thing I really like about the werewolf is that it kind of just scurries around.
He does scurry. Also, this is not really just about the werewolf, but God, I adore when he transforms in London and just that extended sequence of that enormous traffic jam. It's
Oh
so it's
yeah.
so good.
My
It just keeps
my
going.
mouth my jaw was on the floor. I was like so like just baffled at what was happening. I'm pretty sure Sam said something along the lines of like, "Just stop driving." like,
I mean, yeah,
like
yeah.
they
That's
just
that's
keep like
that's
fucking slamming on their brakes and like crashing, and then there's like a very quick scene of like someone's entire torso coming out
get
of the front windshields.
well. Some dude gets like run
Um,
over, like
yeah,
surprisingly
some dude
graphically
get
too.
yeah, he gets like ejected out of the bus or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then like a car comes by and runs over his head. It's just
It's
oh,
wild.
it's so visceral. It's
So
just
wild,
wild,
dude.
but also like just comedic, like it's a fucking circus. Like
Yeah.
it's so funny. Oh my God. Yeah. Honestly, it's the goat. It might be the goat. It's
I
such a
think
good
most
movie.
people are like in agreement that it's one of, if not the best werewolf movie. Because
Yeah.
like again, like the original Wolfman is iconic. Don't get me wrong. You know, the 2010 Wolfman we love. Um, but like I think this one is kind of generally accepted as like the peak, the cream of the crop, as it were.
Yeah. Also, Americans beating up British people.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I mean, that's cool. America number one.
Goddamn right.
You should play like the national anthem right here. like the
I wouldn't get
or like
copyright struck for that, would I?
I don't think so. It seems like
Sure.
it would be ridiculous if it,
On the
if it
national
was.
anthem. Could you imagine?
Can you imagine? It's owned by what's that big music label? I'm forgetting.
I don't know.
Never mind. Whatever. What else? What other movies? Are we ready for Dog Soldiers?
I can talk a little. I can talk a little bit more about Cursed and how weird it is. Oh, so I didn't know this for sure going into it. I had a sneaking suspicion, but Cursed, I later confirmed is the source of that iconic GIF of the werewolf breaking in through the window and flipping them off. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that. I want to look that up.
I will send it to you.
Okay.
I imagine.
I mean, it might. I might remember it, but
yeah. Here we go. I sent it to you.
No, I've never seen that, but that's amazing.
I've seen that GIF a lot, and as I was watching the movie, I'm like, wait, is this this movie? And then sure enough, it was. I'm like, oh my god! Like I saw the windows. I'm like, oh my god, this is it. This is it. It's happening. This is actually happening.
I almost want to know the context.
I can tell you the context.
No, because I actually like kind of want to watch it now.
I mean, it's not that good a movie.
Oh, is it not?
Yeah, it's so though it's kind of so again, it's Wes Craven, and it's Kevin Williamson. Is it Kevin Williams or Williamson? I don't know. It's the guy who wrote Scream with Wes Craven. And it's very obvious because it feels like it's trying to be Scream, but for werewolf movies. But there's not enough rules for werewolf movies as there are for the slasher films. So after a certain point, it just kind of becomes a generic werewolf movie. Like it doesn't really do a whole lot. It doesn't really satirize or do anything all that interesting with the genre, and it's a little disappointing. I appreciate for what it was trying to do, but there wasn't enough there to like justify its existence, I guess.
Gotcha.
But it does have a werewolf flipping the main characters off, so
Oh, well, that's pretty good.
Also, it's Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg.
Wow.
Insane
what a
cast.
duo. Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, God. I wasn't expecting him to be in the movie when I started watching. Like, oh, and
I don't think I've
for
seen
a
him.
Split second, for a split second, Nick Offerman's in it too as a cop.
Really?
Yeah. And he's like,
wow.
He's like noticeably like more. He noticeably weighs more. Like he's almost like fat, and I'm like, oh my god, that is Nick Offerman. Jesus Christ, I like barely recognized him.
God damn, that's so weird. I can't believe I've never heard of this movie. I don't like up until now. Like you mentioned it to me as one of the movies you were watching, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh, it's Wes Craven.
It's fun. It's fun in like bursts. Like there are certain like bits that are like really really good and really really funny. But like as a whole, as a package deal, it's like kind of whatever. There was this one bit. Let me see if I can try to remember the actual line of dialogue. So Jesse Eisenberg, he's like the nerdy kid, and there's this bully who very homophobic. I should mention this is the bully is like his main thing is like calling Jesse Eisenberg gay and also slurs. But there's this one interaction they have that really made me laugh. It was like the bully like went up to Jesse Eisenberg. Let me figure out his name because he does end up becoming like a semi-important character. I shouldn't keep calling him the bully. What's his name? Bo. What an interesting name. He goes up to him and he's like, we have a problem here? And Jesse Eisenberg's like, maybe. And there's this like beat of silence where they're, it's a battle of wills, and he just goes, "Let me know when you make a decision." And then he walks away. It's such a strange interaction. It's so weird, but I love it. It was really, really funny.
What the hell?
Yeah. Again, there's
There's
some bits in there that are really, really fun, but again, as a package, it's like kind of just okay.
I feel like it's going to be one of those movies that I have to watch to like decide if it's for me or not.
Yeah, because I can't imagine I'm like doing a very good job selling it.
Yeah. I think I understand what your review of it, but I think I want to see for myself. But it's not high on my priority list, so I don't really
watch The Cursed. The Cursed instead.
That is high on my priority list. Like this week high on my priority list.
I'm right. Yeah. All right, well,
Hell
Brian, is it time?
Yeah. It's time.
Is it time
to talk about the best movie ever made
of all time?
Starring Soap McTavish from the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3.
I'm shocked that you made that connection. I never would have made that. Never in a million years.
Yeah. So we're talking about Dog Soldiers. It's a British film, of course. They got that dog in them.
Okay.
It's about soldiers that are being hunted down by a bunch of werewolves, and then they all go to this house and they defend the house from a bunch of werewolves, and then they defend the house some more from a bunch of werewolves, and then they blow up the house.
Really, you're really doing a good job selling this movie.
Kills the last werewolf. No, this movie fucking it sucks, but it's amazing. I love it.
It's pretty bad. It's like the good kind of bad though.
Yeah. So already mentioned it. We group watched it in our Discord server, and we were all hollering at the screen. And this movie is just insane, dude. I knew that things were bad when that dude killed himself by running through a tree.
I still don't know how that happened. Like he's running from the werewolf, and then all of a sudden
this trained army man, by the way.
Yes, yeah,
they're all professional soldiers. Just keep that in mind.
Hence the name Dog Soldiers. But he's like running through the forest away from the werewolf, and all of a sudden he stops, and like a little bit of blood dribbles out of his mouth. You know the trope in horror movies, and the camera pans out, and he's like perfectly impaled himself through the chest on this insanely large tree branch, like the thicker than a man's arm, and he's like halfway down, and it's insane because like how fast was he running? Do you realize how much force it would take to even stab yourself through that, and B, to go that far?
Yeah.
Like what?
He was like halfway through the branch, dude. Like he was very far.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. And yes, I as Dave mentioned, I somehow made the connection that the main character is the same dude who voices Soap McTavish from the hit games Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, but the original ones, not the new ones. The new ones suck. And I just called him Soap the whole movie. I don't even know what any of the characters' names were except for Spoon.
Yeah. God bless Spoon.
God bless Spoon. We're going to talk about Spoon. We're going to talk about Spoon, but I wanted to get your take on the Dog Soldiers. I already said my opinion on them. What do you think? Where do they fall in terms of what you like in terms of design?
They're very, very similar to The Howling Werewolves, which I really, really like, and I kind of wish I'd rewatched The Howling for this. Directed by Joe Dante, director of Gremlins 2, The New Batch, greatest movie of all time.
Yes, S tier, 2 S tier movies.
Hell yeah. Yeah, they're very similar to that werewolf where it's like very tall, very lanky, kind of like I guess that is the sort of the more iconic werewolf that people think of when they hear the word werewolf. It's that kind of like the upright, like the ears standing straight up like that. Um, but it's very the ones in Dog Soldier are pretty good. They're like really lanky, like you mentioned, which kind of adds to the monstrousness of it. And but the standout for me was the heads looked really, really good. Like they put a lot of money into making the heads like emote really well. And we don't see them all that often, but like the few shots we see of their faces, like it looks really good. Like they looks like a real animal. It's really well done.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, when we were watching it, I think we all came to the same conclusion that the editing betrayed this movie.
Oh my god, that editing's a nightmare, dude. What the hell?
Like no shot was allowed much time at all.
Yeah.
And any view we got of the monsters was very short. And in some respects I kind of like that. Like I feel like if we saw more of them than we did, they might kind of start to feel more goofy. Because I did actually find them to be very imposing. I did. They did kind of scare me a bit.
Yeah.
I was a little spooked by them. They were a little creepy. But like I just think if they edited it better and just had like the scenes kind of flow a bit better, I think it would have been much easier to digest. It was just a little bit too manic.
Yeah, I don't, and you could, and it's Neil Marshall's first film, but also like, I don't know, because like, I've only seen The Descent and I've seen Hellboy. Well, I've sort of seen Hellboy. I passed the fuck out when I watched Hellboy. And you can confirm that because you were sitting right next to me when that happened.
Yes,
but like none of that editing is even close. It's not. It's like exclusive to just this movie. It's very weird. Maybe he learned. Maybe that was like a thing that people talk shit about when Dog Soldiers came out.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting when you think about Dog Soldiers versus like The Descent, because The Descent had some quick editing, but it was like composed a lot better, I want to say. Like it didn't feel as obnoxious.
I haven't seen it in a couple of years.
I saw The Descent somewhat recently within I don't know. Maybe it's been a few years for me, but I do remember it being edited somewhat, having some quick cuts in there, but nothing like Dog Soldiers.
Yeah. Dog Soldiers is like actually headache inducing. It's a little insane.
Yeah, we all figured that out very quickly once the movie started.
Yeah, I mean we compare it to that one clip from Taken 3 where Liam Neeson is jumping a fence and it's like 30 cuts to jump a fence.
That's crazy.
It's that level. I can't remember, Brian. Had you seen that?
You know what? You were going to send me a clip. The clip.
I'm gonna send it to you right now, Brian, and we will wait.
Okay.
And you can watch it.
All right. I'll tell you how similar it is.
Yes. Yeah, it's in this. It's a 7-second clip. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Are you sending it? Oh, there it is. Give me.
Give you 7 seconds.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Someone did that.
Would you say Dog Soldiers is along those lines, Brian?
That was worse. That clip was way worse. You know why it didn't have dog soldiers
You're
in it.
right. It did not have dog soldiers. And I stand by the fact that the movie would have been better if someone had said the phrase dog soldier, because boy,
Yeah.
we were going off. Every time we got the chance, we would say we would use the term dog soldier, but no one in the movie did, and it was a little upsetting.
Do you want to inform everybody of the most insane line spoken in the movie?
You mean the greatest line spoken in any movie ever?
Yes.
I can't even do it without laughing.
I mean, when it happened, all of us just, I don't, like, I was baffled. I was
The
so
weird
confused.
thing is, like, it's not a movie.
Crying, laughing.
It's not a movie that even has a lot of one-liners. There's like
No.
2 or 3 one-liners in the entire movie, and they're all insane. The greatest of which is dogs, more like pussies, and then he gets pulled out the window and dies.
Yeah. The werewolves run away, and then he says that fucking one-liner, and they just come back and just grab him real quick.
Just
Because
incredible filmmaking on every level.
Yeah. Oh my god. So I think we should talk about the fight scenes between our main group of soldier dudes and the dog soldiers.
Well, there's the greatest part where the guy's putting up a barrier on the door with the hammer, and then the wolf, the dog soldier, tries to reach through the mail slot, and without missing a beat, he switches.
I'm looking.
Yeah, without missing a beat,
at
he switches from hammering the boards to immediately hammering on the wolf's hand, and it's so funny. He does it with no hesitation. It's in the exact same motion. It's like you're hammering.
Is that Spoon? I'm pretty sure
it might
that's
be Spoon. It might be. God, Spoon really is just the MVP of that movie.
He should have been the final person. Honestly.
He should have been.
He should have been. I really just want to get to talking about him, to be honest.
And his epic fist fight. He's literally like bobbing and weaving like a boxer.
Yeah. Yeah. First, before we get to that though, I want to just mention that there is a scene that starts taking place before the kitchen fight. Mm-hmm. They kind of bleed together, where there are a few of the werewolves, a few of the dog soldiers chasing around Soap and the other guy, the dude who's gonna turn into a werewolf eventually. Spoilers. And they are like hammering through the walls of this house. And then they eventually have to hide in a in like a, what is it, like a drawer, like a dresser or something, or I don't know, some cabinet. And then they shoot through the floor to get away. Like the way that they get around this house is just insane. And obviously, like the fucking scene of whoever that is hammering the door, the hand of the door, like just the action in this is just so unhinged. It really does feel like everybody quite literally throwing everything at the monsters. Like they are using everything.
Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna talk about Spoon, because Spoon literally throws everything at a werewolf.
Yes.
Dave, would you like to explain the absolute champion? Absolute champion.
I think I'm going to leave it to you, Brian. You seem much more enthusiastic.
All right, dude. I am enthusiastic. I'm very excited.
I wouldn't dream of taking your thunder here.
Yeah, he really fucking hates werewolves. They killed his buddy, and when he gets cornered in this kitchen, he shoots it first, and then he starts trying to stab it. And when all that fails, he just starts throwing plates and fine china, and just all the while he's just guttural screaming, just like nature, like just like such a like a natural state for humanity, just returning to monkey. It just connected with me on a very instinctual level of just wanting to fucking kill that thing with like by all means necessary. He's a champion. He dies, unfortunately. But it took more than one werewolf to get him. And he was fighting them with his bare hands. And he also fist fought it too. I almost forgot about that.
And he goes out
straight
like
up
a
just
champ
squared
too.
up.
Like doesn't like
He
one of
did-
the
he
werewolves
did.
get stabbed and then it like stabs him on the sword that's impaled through its chest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also says an actual fucking amazing one-liner, which is, "I hope I give you the shits."
Good stuff. I honestly forgot
Yeah.
about that one.
Dude, honestly, I don't know who plays him. I don't know anything about his character. I just started to pay attention to him in the last act there and how unhinged he became. His performance is like the sole reason to watch this movie, in my opinion.
Darren Morfitt is who plays him.
He did such a good job. I have never seen someone return to monkey like that.
The only other thing I have seen him in, he was an unnamed side character in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. He was transport deck officer.
Wow. That's my favorite character.
He was in 2 episodes of Doctor Who.
Oh. I don't know Doctor Who.
2010.
Never watched it.
I don't know when 2010. Who was the Doctor in 2010?
I don't know this nerd shit, dude. This is all your department.
Barely. I did not watch, even when I was watching Doctor Who, I wasn't like super into it. Who was the Doctor in 2010? Series, the 11th Doctor. Oh, that was Matt Smith. Okay, so that is like when I was actually watching it. So I probably did see him.
Mm.
Oh, The Time of Angels, is that the one I'm thinking of? I don't fucking know. It's been 10 years. Almost 15. I don't remember. What the hell are we talking about? Spoon?
Yeah. Well, I talked about Spoon. Is there anything you would like to mention about Spoon, Dave?
I think you kind of covered it. I mean, we
yeah.
I think Neil Marshall, you got to go back and remake Dog Soldiers, but make Spoon the hero this time, not Soap.
Aw. I think they should team up and like equally get out of there, you know? Like buddy. I think that would be good.
Make a second make a Dog Soldiers 2 and make a good Dog Soldier. Have Spoon come back as a dog soldier, but he's a good dog soldier.
So something interesting about that, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Dog Soldiers is actually quickly getting a cult following here.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it definitely feels like the kind of movie that would have a cult following.
There are lots of people who preach Dog Soldiers. I've heard them. I've met a few actually.
Really? Have you?
Yeah. So, you know, honestly, like we've seen some cult movies get some surprise sequels.
That's true.
I think it's possible. I'm going to be preaching this movie. I'm going to be super fucking annoying about it.
Okay. You're going to mention it on every episode of Talking Toku in the future.
I am. I mean, we were talking about potentially wanting to do another watch party where we watch this with more people.
That is true. We did talk about that.
Because like I love this movie. I love it, but I mostly love it.
Yeah.
But part of the experience was watching it with people.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very much akin to like The Room or, you know, like what's some other shitty bad movies? I guess Moonfall, but I never watched it. I don't know.
With how many times we've
There's
mentioned Moonfall on this show, we have to cover it
gotta
at some
watch
point. We have to cover it.
It does have a kaiju
I know,
in it.
the moon is a kaiju.
The moon is a kaiju. There's a big sandworm in it. Shai Hulud.
Do you think Roland it's Roland Emmerich who did that, right?
Of course it's Roland Emmerich, Dave.
Do you think Roland Emmerich stole the moon is a kaiju thing from Dead Space?
I mean, maybe. Now that you say it, maybe. But I mean, it's just a worm on the moon. I'm pretty sure.
Is it? I don't know. I haven't fucking seen it.
I've been playing Dead Space again, by the way.
I know.
I'm addicted.
You've been telling me.
I'm addicted. I'll talk more about it later, but something happened.
Okay.
I gotta say it. Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about.
I forgot to.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, just watch it with people. It's so much fun to just holler at the screen and get high, get drunk, whatever. Do whatever you need to do to enjoy movies. But it's just such an experience to watch it with people. If you have friends that love delicious garbage, call them up, be like, hey, let's watch fucking Dog Soldiers. Good shit. Good shit. It was honestly probably a surprise highlight of the research for the show.
Honestly,
for this episode.
I think so, because it's been on my list for years. I've wanted to watch this movie for years, and I think it is a good thing that I watched it with people, because I had no idea what this was gonna be. I didn't think it was gonna be as balls to the wall insanity as it was, and I think I would have been a little annoyed had I gone into it by myself, not knowing that. I think I would have not liked it as much as I did.
Yeah. Well, that's good that you got to watch it in its intended environment.
Yeah, of course. So,
but yeah, that's all I have to say about Dog Soldiers. I don't want to spoil it at all, because I want people to go watch it. I don't know. Do you have any closing thoughts, Dave?
I don't know. On Dog Soldiers, I got nothing. Any other werewolf stuff we want to talk about before we move on? Because I can't think of anything. I think we covered a good decent amount.
Yeah, I guess I just hope that that the new Wolfman's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's who is that again? It's
Leigh Whannell.
Leigh Whannell, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a great job on The Invisible Man. It's a great movie, so I trust him. I'm hoping that the movie's good despite the design. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll make a resurgence for Wolfman movies or something. Seems like we're getting a lot of classic monsters, which is good.
We're getting there, finally.
And it's good. There's fucking talent behind it this time instead of it just being schlock.
Though I will say I'm a little butthurt that Ryan Gosling isn't in it, because he was attached to Star for a long time. I kind of in Wolfman.
In Wolfman, yeah.
I would have.
Yeah, that's
a
bummer.
I can't remember the guy who replaced him, but I love Ryan Gosling. I want to see him in any. I would love to see him in a horror movie. I don't think he's done horror before.
No, he does have he's been in a pretty decent amount of genres, so I would be very curious.
And he technically got his start in horror, because he was on Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps back in the day.
Was he?
Yes.
Huh.
And you can
I did not know that.
You can very very easily find the clips of him in Goosebumps. I assume the same for Are You Afraid of the Dark, but yeah. I think there's a video of him reacting to clips of him in Goosebumps. It's really good.
Well, I'm very curious about that. I might go try and find that later.
Yeah. But yeah, I wanna see, I don't know. I want more werewolf That's all.
Yeah.
All werewolf.
More werewolf, more classic monsters,
Yes.
but like inspired and not like bad.
Yeah.
You know.
And not bad. Like,
Also,
that's
bring
fair.
back the Dooku. Bring it back. Bring back the Dooku.
There it
Please.
is. There it is.
Yeah. Closing thoughts on werewolves, Dave. Werewolves in general.
They're still the coolest classic monster. I'm gonna stand by it. There's just something about it. Well, here's the thing. I think the reason I've always liked werewolves is because when I was a kid, like a young kid, I was actually like scared of dogs, and I think that probably my fascination with werewolves probably stems from that, because that's like the closest thing horror wise to that childhood fear.
Damn, Dave, you were scared of the big woofers, huh?
I was. Well, here's the thing. Here's the reason for that. It's because when I was a kid, like a young kid, and I was learning how to swim at the pool, there was this dog, and it just like came right up to me, fucking barked right in my goddamn face, scared the shit out of me, and that just did downward spiral ever since. Obviously, I'm okay now.
That dog traumatized
He
you.
did.
Wow.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I think that's probably why I like werewolves as much as I do, is because that childhood fear kind of connects. So
I have another follow-up question for you.
Please.
It's like an interview.
Oh my god, that's such a hold on. Wait, that's a good idea for an episode, Brian. What if we just interview each other about Godzilla?
Oh man, that would be funny.
That would be funny. All right, go on.
That would be funny. So from because you've been watching so many of these werewolf movies back to back. Since you've started watching them in preparation for this episode, has any of your opinions on werewolves changed or shifted in any way?
No, not really. It's kind of stayed the same. Well, the thing is,
you don't like prefer like one design more over another. Like your favorite movies haven't changed in any order.
Yeah, I wish I would have watched. I had time to watch more that I hadn't seen before.
Dude, same. Yeah, me too.
I mean, I don't really know what else I wanted to watch other than the ones I did, because like I watched Dog Soldiers, I watched Cursed. I wanted to watch Silver Bullet, which is based on a Stephen King. No, I don't know if it's a full novel or if it's a short story, because with Stephen King, you never know. But yeah, there were a couple I would have liked to see more that I hadn't seen before. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm looking. I wanted to watch Underworld. I did not get around to watching Underworld.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that.
I did talk about that. Oh,
I have seen the first Underworld, I think, and I don't think it was very good. So, and I have not heard very good things about the sequels. So
gotcha. Yeah. That's all I got. We didn't talk enough as much about the original Wolfman, but like, what else can you say? It's one of the greatest of all time.
And I haven't seen it in I don't know how long.
Lon Chaney.
Actually, I don't.
Sorry, Lon Chaney Jr. Have you seen it?
I've definitely seen it.
I would hope you've seen it. I would hope you've seen the original Wolfman. Well, hey,
yeah, I think I have.
If not, Brian, how about this? Here's one that I haven't seen that'll shock you to your core. I've never seen Bride of Frankenstein.
Neither have I, dude.
Shit, Brian, they're gonna tear us apart on the internet. They're gonna be so upset.
Whatever. Hey, you know what? The less movies we've watched, the more reviews we'll have in the future.
That's true. You're so right, Brian.
Yeah, am I right? That's infinite content, dude.
Goddamn right. But
do you guys want us to retire or something? Like, get off of me.
On the topic, though, of Lon Chaney and the original Wolfman, I know we said An American Werewolf in London is the best werewolf movie. I forgot. That's not the case. the real best werewolf movie is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's the best werewolf
all right.
movie.
Do I have to watch that?
Brian, have you never seen Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein?
No.
All right, we're gonna change that later. We're gonna move on. We're just gonna move on. We're gonna move on from that. We're gonna move on from that. We'll unpack that later. We'll move on to our last segment. What new cool kaiju thing are you checking out right now, Brian? You sounded like
you're so mad.
I am mad. That's insane to me that you haven't seen Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. It is a perfect film. One of the funniest movies of all time.
Well, hold on. Let me just. No, I have not.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Dave.
We are going to watch it. This is not negotiable.
I'm not saying no. I would like to.
Good, because it's
maybe
hilarious.
we can watch party it with, or I don't know. Maybe we can watch party it if it's that great.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, I'm down.
I think it's the only Abbott and Costello thing I've seen aside from like, the who's on first bit, but it's incredible, and it has all the cast too. I think, it's not. Boris Karloff is not Frankenstein's monster, but it has Lon Chaney as the Wolfman. It has Bela Lugosi as Dracula. Oh, and Vincent Price is the Invisible Man, but that's more of a cameo at the very, very end. He's not like in the movie.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, but
damn. Yeah, no.
10 out of 10 movie.
I will absolutely watch it. That does sound fucking awesome.
All right, cool.
I'm not arguing with you, Dave.
All right, good. You better not be.
I am not.
All right, well, yeah, so what new cool kaiju thing did you check out, Brian? Tell me. You said you had something to talk about.
I watched The Substance. It was amazing.
We watched The Substance, Brian. We didn't see it together, obviously, because we're on opposite sides of the country, but we both saw The Substance.
It was amazing. I hate it.
It was amazing. I loved it.
I'm never going to watch it ever again.
Really? That's unfortunate.
No. It's just so gruesome, dude.
It is.
It's so gruesome.
It's a body horror film, and I don't even want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
No.
Because I think it's the kind of movie that is best gone in knowing as little as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I like to try and refrain from spoiling movies that are still out.
Yeah.
We broke that rule with Alien, but whatever.
But that's because we reviewed it. And we also gave warning, hey, we're going to spoil this movie. So.
That's true. Fair. You know what? Didn't expect to have reason to talk about it on here. Pleasantly surprised. It is just to emphasize how gross this movie is. I like to think that I'm pretty solid in terms of how I react to seeing gore. I literally witnessed dying fish today, many of them, and I was completely steadfast and fine. But I literally gagged. During parts of The Substance.
That's such a good that's such a good way to recommend it, Brian. That's so good.
Dave, you know me. I am pretty
you are not.
I don't really get grossed out.
You're not squeamish.
I don't really get grossed out. But this movie, Dave, I gagged. I almost had to get up and go to the bathroom. It was that bad. The effects, amazing. Everybody who worked on it should be applauded and rewarded.
It sucks.
It's such a work of art. It is a work of art.
It sucks
it's so good.
Because I know the Academy doesn't give a shit about horror movies, and I know that if they did, this would be a shoo-in for multiple awards. But then again, this did, I think it won Best Screenplay at Cannes this year. I think it won something at Cannes.
You might be right. I think you might be right because there was something.
Also, I don't know if it's Cannes or Cannes.
I think it's Cannes. But, you know, we're Americans, so whatever.
American. So, but yeah, it won. Yes, yeah, Best Screenplay.
Yeah.
And it was up for the Palme d'Or, which is basically like their Best Picture. It didn't win.
That's impressive.
But it was up for it.
It deserves it. It would have deserved it.
Yeah, for sure.
It still does. You know, it deserved the nomination at the very least. It was just an excellent movie. But yeah, it is probably not something I'm going to watch very often.
No, like I adored it. I think I honestly think it's like one of the best movies of the year. But I can't see myself revisiting it all that often.
Oh, I just have to mention the score fucks.
The music is
so
really
good.
Really good.
The music was so good. It was I was really impressed. It was so good.
I want to say Waxwork is doing a vinyl pressing of the score, and
I'm gonna buy it. I am going to buy it. I am going to buy it, and I'm going to set up my vinyl player, and I'm going to set up the speakers, and I'm going to play it loud. It is such a good soundtrack.
Let me see if I can find it.
Go see it. If you got the stomach for it, you should go see it.
Oh, it's Waxwork here. I'll send it to you, Brian.
Yeah, please send me that link. I'm going to buy that.
And the record
also,
is bright green, as it should be.
Also, fair warning, you have to be okay with nudity. You have to.
I mean, if you're going with a horror movie, that's kind of...
I know, but
that kind of goes without saying.
It does, but this one especially, there was just so much of it. It was kind of surprising. Yeah, I'm gonna buy this shit, and it's green. It is neon green. That's perfect.
Activator green, as it's described.
Activator green
on the listing.
I mean, that is the color.
That is the color.
That's it. That's it, Dave.
What else is that? Is just the substance?
I still playing Dead Space, and I just gotta say something that happened last night. That was very embarrassing.
Okay.
I'm going through an impossible run, which basically just means that it's hard mode, and I only have one save slot. And if I die, I am returned to the beginning of the game. So you can see where this is going. I got grabbed by a tentacle that is exactly it is exactly halfway through the game. And I was using the pulse rifle, which is notoriously horrible and nerfed in the remake.
No.
And it is probably the only time I have failed to kill a tentacle in the remake and the original.
Brian, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Dave, I know this game front and back, and it was the exact middle of the game. The exact middle.
I'm so sorry, Brian.
That happened last night, and after that happened, I shut my PC off and went to bed.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's what I would do.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. The Dead Space is totally kaiju related because there are big monsters in it.
Big monsters.
There's a big cancer monster in it, and there's a big earth monster at the end. So yeah.
Well, you know what else is kaiju related that we've also been playing? Fucking Deep Rock Galactic, brother. That's got some big bugs in it.
Goddamn right, brother. That's got some huge bugs in it.
I'm fucking addicted to it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm hooked. It's so good.
It's pretty hopeless. I see you on there day after day.
I know. It's basically because like missions are like they're like 20 minutes, half an hour maybe. it's like, oh, I got some free time. I'll do a mission or two. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just easy to get it and get in and get out. It's awesome, man. It's so fun, so
Yeah.
satisfying.
It is a lot of fun. I've been playing with you obviously, and also a bit with my friend Kalen. I guess also your friend Kalen, but
Ew.
he's
Who?
weird. He's weird.
Yeah.
He's weird. And like it's just fun to party up and just be a bunch of dudes fucking mining rocks and shit.
Goddamn right. They're doing their
And,
the Oktoberfest event is
I
live
played
right now.
I played yesterday. I tried out the new beer where you got a wiener in it.
Yeah.
You gotta mix it up in there.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. It's just such a how did you describe it? The sound effects in the game make your brain go burr or something?
Make my brain go burr.
Yeah. That's basically where that game shines. It's just
it's good.
it does
stuff.
all the stuff. It does all the stuff right. It releases all the endorphins.
And I am notoriously not someone who enjoys live service games, but this is the one. This is the one where I'm like, all right, yeah, it is pretty good.
Well, this is a good one because you don't have to fucking pay for all
That
the
is
battle
true.
pass shit.
I was talking to my friend Josh about this. I don't think there even is an option to pay real money for any of the things. I mean, obviously there's like DLC expansions that are just cosmetics, but all the stuff in game in the base game, I don't think there even is an option to pay for it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I don't even know if there's an in-game like store to buy it. I think you have to actually leave the game to buy those expansions.
I think so. Yeah. I think there's like a link in the store, but that just takes you to the Steam store.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just such a good game. It's a great game.
Great game. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what? Actually, I just remembered I did start to play Dredge a little bit.
Oh, did you? How is that?
I did.
I have it. It's been on my Steam library for a long time, and I have never touched it.
I haven't really played too much of it. I think I've played less than an hour of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely have. But I like it. It's good. It's very cute. I really like the art style. I like the vibes it's going for. I'm gonna play it more though because I love Eldritch horror.
Yeah.
I love all the big squiddy sea monsters and whatever. And also that reminds me, this is technically news, but Monster Hunter Wilds is releasing in early 2025.
Oh, is it? I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm basically gonna stop playing Monster Hunter Worlds until then because I don't want to burn myself out.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but I'm excited. I'm buying that shit day one, dude.
Very nice.
Day one, brother. I want it.
All right.
Gonna see me disappear into that shit.
I probably will.
It's gonna be it's gonna be the new Elden Ring. I'm not gonna be able to shut up about it.
Yeah. I'll have to start
They're
putting,
gonna have to put a new timestamp in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing I got to talk about, I saw Transformers 1, and I really loved it. Like, so a lot of people have been talking about this, the fact that the marketing for it was abhorrent, terrible.
Yeah, the trailer I saw for it was pretty bad.
Yeah, and you are more than welcome to decide, yeah, I'm not going to see that based on the trailer, because the trailers look terrible. They made it look really bad, dude. They put all like the really cringy Marvel movie-esque dialogue in the trailers. And to be fair, there is still a decent amount of that in the movie itself, but like aside from that, like it's a really good movie. Like it's really heartfelt, really I don't know. I can't recommend it enough. I'm like getting twisted up here in my words just because it's just so good. And I really hope it does well, because currently it's not doing very well at the box office, which is really upsetting, because everyone I haven't seen anyone saying anything bad about it. It's all positive. It's all positive, which makes me really happy, but it's just not making money. And it's upsetting because how is an animated Transformers movie doing bad at the box office? Transformers as a film franchise is almost always a box office hit. Why is this different? I don't get it.
I think it's probably just the bad marketing.
But then parents would be taking their kids anyways. Would they not?
I mean, I guess so.
Baffling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been, what, at this point, 20-ish, or maybe like a decade or more of Transformers movies. Like, I don't know, maybe people are just tired of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just not in with kids right now.
I guess. Don't have to be happy about it, though. But yeah, go see Transformers 1.
Dave, just be mad at children. Just go up to children in the street and yell at them, saying, "Why don't you like Transformers anymore?"
I kept seeing people at work because I work near the movie theater. They were going to see Beetlejuice instead of Transformers. Like, fucking Beetlejuice came out like 2 weeks ago. You didn't see it then? Go see Transformers instead. It's a better movie.
God damn. Scathing review of Beetlejuice over here.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate Beetlejuice. I thought it was fine. It's a perfectly fine movie, perfectly serviceable, but Transformers 1 is better. That's all I got.
Damn. I wonder what I would think.
You should go see it.
Maybe.
It's gorgeous.
I'm not really too big into Transformers.
Neither am I, though. It's a franchise I've always wanted to try and get into, but I've never felt super obligated. But every so often I'll check the new thing out, and this one was really, really good. Also,
I mean, I did like Bumblebee. Bumblebee was pretty good.
Bumblebee was very, very good. Also, it's the same animation studio that did Ultraman Rising.
Ooh. Okay. Well, you know what? You sold me.
I mean,
I'm
one thing
not
about the
going to go see it in
trailers.
theaters, though.
Wow. If it doesn't get a sequel, Brian, I'm blaming you. Okay.
I'll watch it on streaming. Dude.
I'm going to blame you if it doesn't get a sequel, Brian. I think that's
what
it.
if but what if I just go see The Substance again? Would you be mad at me?
Well, I don't think The Substance needs a sequel.
That's fair.
I think
Transformers. But in terms of me spending my time,
well, Transformers 1 is shorter.
Go see Transformers. God damn it, you're right. I'm too busy. Yeah, The Substance was long. That was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
But it did not feel like it. It did not feel like it. The pacing in that was incredible.
Yeah. Man, I did just forget how long it was, though, because we saw it at 9:45. And when we got out, it was past midnight.
Yeah.
It was dead outside. It was super creepy.
Jeez. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for part 1 of our Halloween celebration. Should we talk about what we're covering next week, Brian? I don't even think you know what we're covering next week. I've just had it planned, and I just haven't mentioned it to you.
I think I forgot we were talking about it.
I know
if we were talking about certain things.
I know I told you what we were doing for Halloween itself, but not our second.
Yeah, I don't remember
October. That. All right. Well, I'll tell you. Just like Dog Soldiers, we're going to be watching a movie that I've wanted to watch for so long. It is ridiculous how long I've been wanting to watch this film. We're going to be watching Ishiro Honda's 1963 horror film Matango, or perhaps more well known in the U.S. as Attack of the Mushroom People.
Whoa. Mushroom People.
People.
That sounds lit.
I think
I want to do that.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's apparently very, very good. I think it's one of the only straight horror movies that Honda did, and it's got the usual The Usual Suspects. It's got Han. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. It's not Ifukube. I thought it was Ifukube doing the music. I guess it's not. But it does have Akira Kubo and Kumi Mizuno, Kenji Sahara, and a bunch of the other old guard at Toho in the cast. So we'll still have that. So yeah, and we can watch that on Discord because it's no, I think sorry, never mind. Ignore me. I think it's on the Criterion channel, but I don't have the Criterion channel, so we might have to watch it through less than legal means. But we'll see.
Okay. Maybe we can find it.
Yeah, I think I found out an Internet Archive or something the other day. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to watch Matango. I've been wanting to watch it for years, and it's just up until recent. I didn't even know it was on the Criterion channel. As far it's probably a recent thing because to my knowledge, it was never ever on any streaming services. I don't remember if it actually even got a DVD release here in the States. I think it did, but I think it was through Tokyo Shock, and those went out of print pretty quickly, and I never got one. So I'm really excited to watch Matango. So we'll do that in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Hell yeah. I'm excited.
Look forward to that.
I am excited for Halloween.
I'm excited
for
Halloween too.
October.
It's gonna be good.
My favorite time of year.
Do you have any other movies you're planning on watching, Brian, before we go?
I don't know.
'Cause I have my whole list right here.
There's a lot of things that are on our list from last year that we didn't get to for Halloween. But I had a bunch in mind, but I'm blanking on all of them right now. So I will. You know what? Maybe next time I'll have a more defined list to work off of. But definitely The Cursed. The Cursed is gonna happen probably this week. Yeah, and I do finally want to watch Mad God.
Ooh, have fun with that. Have fun with that.
Every time I have been opening Shudder a lot recently because of this episode. And every time I go on there, I see that Mad God is still on my list. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I gotta watch that. Like, it's basically the sole reason I still have Shudder right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta get around to it. Yeah. But yeah, that's the only two things I can really think of right now.
The biggest ones I have on my list are the new Salem's Lot, which I hope is good. The original Nosferatu, because I have never seen that, and I feel like I should probably watch that before the new one comes out in December. In a Violent Nature, which I heard pretty cool things about. And
is that the one that's like
from the perspective of the killer?
Yeah. I saw a video on a YouTube video about it recently.
I think that might be on Shudder as well. I think.
Yeah, I think so. That seems like a Shudder movie.
Yeah, and then The Lost Boys. I've never watched The Lost Boys. I'm going to watch that. And then Brian, this one was added at your behest. Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, let's fucking go, dude. You are gonna have so much fun with Deep Blue Sea. Honestly, I think we should watch it.
I'd be down for that. I would be super, super down for that. I am down to watch any of these over Discord with people.
David.
All right. You're using the full name.
I fucking love Deep Blue Sea.
It is
one of my favorite shark movies. It is so good.
All right. Well,
and now you know that I'm not over exaggerating.
I know. You're taking this shit seriously.
I dropped the id.
You dropped the id. All right. Well, we're almost at 2 hours, and we've just been rambling for the past 20 minutes. We should get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, check back in a couple weeks, and we'll talk about Matango. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch? ? And
Twitch. It's set up.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that because now we're
Yeah,
doing
we streamed once. We had a test stream. It was kind of fine, but it had some
Yeah.
weird technical issues, which I am slowly figuring out. So once I get that going, Dave and I are planning on doing some Resident Evil 6 streams this month.
Mm-hmm. I don't know when.
Because yeah, I don't know. I don't know when. We'll have to figure that out. Probably in the later half of the month.
Yeah.
But
make sure.
yeah.
Well, we'll make sure to post about it on the socials. You know,
Yeah.
at least an hour before we stream, just to give you guys a heads up. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. You can watch Brian and I play the greatest video game of all time, Resident Evil 6.
Yes. And you can either add to our pain or
sharing it,
whatever, by or sharing it by making fun of us or backseat gaming or whatever. So yeah,
I don't know. I think we got through Resident Evil 5 all right, except for that one bug at the end during the fight with the Wesker fight, where it bugged out and we couldn't finish the fight.
Yeah. But the good thing about that is that I got to see Chris punch that boulder out of the way
like
so
5
many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 times. Yeah. So yeah, look out for that. It was fun streaming that one time, but I want it to be good, and Twitch is better for,
for sure.
For finding audiences and whatnot. So we'll probably be streaming on YouTube and Twitch, or maybe just Twitch. I don't know. I haven't really figured it out yet. So we'll see.
But yeah, keep an eye out on our socials, all at Talking Toku. So, is the YouTube Talking Toku official, or is it just Talking Toku?
It's Talking Toku official, but it should show up when you type in either.
Cool. Sick. All right, well, yeah, do all that, and then
go to bed on time.
Yeah, okay. We'll see about that. All right, goodbye.
Yeah. Beware the moon.